Welcome to Be Bold Branding, where we discuss the power of differentiating yourself through your own unique story and standout personal brand.
We just wrapped up our very first Profitable Brand Mastermind. And today we're going to share with you what we learned. Yes, what we learned as a result of working with a group of coaches, creators, and experts in their space who were seeking to turn their purpose into profit. We'll tell you what we covered and how that is already transforming the people we've been honored to help throughout the process.
Yeah, our clients have thrived in this group setting and we're thrilled about it. And honestly, we were not sure if we could take our Done For You program and really take the approach and deliver the same incredible outcome that we've been doing for a decade now with clients all over the world and do that in a group setting, right? So first, let me better describe the two types of programs. First, we have a completely Done For You program that is delivered one-on-one setting. So even though we have multiple team members, it's always one-on-one. And each client processes and progresses through this program with one-on-one meetings and various team members to help them with each section of what their need is.
Yeah. So first, they're assigned a personal guide to make sure they have somebody that they can reach quickly and easily who understands every step of the process. And that person is also the one who does all the interviews with our clients. They provide a recording and the notes, and then they send those notes to other team members that we have so they're prepared for the next steps with the next specialized team member, like meeting with copywriters for their brand messaging, for instance, or a stylist to prepare them for their photo shoot, things like that. So in our mastermind program, it's different, of course, because it's delivered in a group setting with other experts who have the same end goal, and that's bringing clarity to who they are, who they serve, and what they want to be known for. So then their marketing and their sales efforts can actually produce big profits.
Yeah, profitable personal brands is really what we're known for, because there's a lot of people build brands or say they build brands, but if you don't know how to make it profitable,
what's the point?
Right. So before we talk about what we learned, here's a snapshot of just a few of the type of people we had in the mastermind. One was an expert who focuses on helping business owners and CEOs with a digital search strategy. Super smart. Yeah. He's top in his space, and even Google says that he knows more about Google than a lot of people that work for Google. So it's pretty awesome, right? Mm-hmm. But we helped him articulate the concept that it's not just where you're seen, it is how you're seen, which was a major piece in his brand that was missing to make him profitable.
Exactly. Yeah. He's known for being very cutting edge, next generation,
and
AI-driven search, right? And so we wanted to make sure we could help him be positioned that way. And it's been a really awesome process to see that come to light for him through it. All right. Another person was a full-time travel coach, right? And you ask, hey, what's that? Well, you're about to learn. All right. She left her corporate job 6 years ago because she was just fed up with working behind a desk. And so one day she thought, I'm quitting this place. I'm out of here. Let's bust this popsicle stand, right? And she set out to travel. Her goal was, hey, I'm going to travel for the next 3 to 6 months, and then we'll see what happens. Because she knew she could always go back to that corporate world if she needed to. Well, here we are 6 years later, and she still has no permanent address. So she joined our mastermind actually from 3 different continents in the 12 weeks that we had her with us. And one of the things we helped her with is her new tagline, ditch your desk, discover your destiny. And that really sets the tone for what her clients want to achieve, what's in their soul, right?
Mm-hmm. And one more example is a woman who is now called the Magnetic Abundance Mentor, and she's known for helping women achieve the 7 pillars of abundance for a balanced and beautiful life.
Yep.
She worked mostly with females, mostly with ladies that really want to have that abundant life, but they want to have it in a balanced way. And again, what made her super special to us is she was not profitable yet. And now she has a dialed in brand that she actually can turn into profit while helping these ladies achieve that success that they want.
Yeah. And so there's really kind of 2 types of people that come in and work on their personal brand. And one is people that know it's not clear yet. There's no clarity to their brand. In other words, they have not differentiated themselves in their space yet so that they don't have competitors, right? It's not necessarily differentiating you against your competitors. It's differentiating you so you don't have any. Right.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, there's people that come in and there's some clarity to what they're doing. They kind of know the direction and what they want to be known for, but they've never been able to be as profitable as they want to be because frankly, they end up like a lot of us do. They end up with too many projects on their plate. They have a podcast. They've got 2 books they're working on. They're trying to get a TED Talk started. They've got courses and group coaching programs and all of these things, but they're not profitable because they're not super focused and dialed in. So, all right. So now let's take a look at the top 3 things we learned when it comes to doing our Profitable Brand Mastermind. So I'm hoping you guys can actually, on your end of things, learn a lot about our experience. Number 1 is people they love feedback from their peers. There's nothing that takes the place of that. They appreciate the fact that true professionals like them approach things from a totally different angle, and their feedback, somebody else's feedback, can actually help you see things that you or your brand might be missing. And I think that was huge for a lot of people, and it was probably the biggest eye-opening thing for me is that they wanted that feedback from their peers because those peers were going to be super honest. And yeah, and that's hard to get, but when you get to know people in that intimate setting like that and you're meeting with them every week, it becomes so much easier to like fall in line and be kind about it, but also say, if you worded it this way, I don't really understand that. But if you word it this way, like that totally hits me. I get it.
Yeah, that was really valuable.
It sure
I love the social interaction. The second thing that we learn is people love creative ideas that come from other experts. And it's not just the branding experts that are saying it. We sort of like became in this setting the guardrails. And we let the creative juices of those masterminds come together because these are successful people and they're not competitive to each other, which is really important. They're not competing in the same space. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the third thing that we've learned from our experience with doing this kind of thing. But what I really thought was how somebody that was in a digital strategy space was so valuable to somebody else that was in
a travel space,
right. And vice versa. We had one that we worked with that is a clothier, and that vantage point from a life coach and how she saw his brand was super powerful to him in helping to dial in that message in a way that she would pay for it, which was super important because that's why we do what we do.
Exactly.
I was really, really tickled about how that outcome, came to fruition.
Me
it was really
too.
Awesome.
And the stylist and clothier that we had in there has styled some pro NFL players and NBA draft picks and so forth. So he's at a much higher level than a lot of stylists and clothiers. And it was really cool to have him learn about how somebody else conducted business and saw it a little bit differently. So. And then we also had another amazing lady in there who came from the more religious side of coaching.
Yep.
She is actually a voiceover artist, and she came to us, and we had branded her as a voiceover artist years ago. She came back to us and said, hey, I'm looking at a new chapter in my life. She's a very religious, spiritual woman, and she wanted to start a woman's mastermind group to really help women who were feeling unfulfilled and a little bit restless in life and wondering what's next. And now she is positioned to do that. So. Okay, number 3 thing that we learned, people love the networking and collaboration opportunities. And we found out that we can not only introduce our clients to others that could partner with them or that maybe could even become their clients, but these are people who really get to know them well and can more easily understand who they want to attract. And that gives them better introductions. Okay. And I know Michael wants to speak on this, but I'll start it off because it's a big problem in our industry right now, in the experts industry. There is a huge movement to foster partnerships, collaborations, and referrals. Okay. But they're often done without really thinking them through. It's like, oh, I know 8 people I can introduce you to, and here come the 8 emails, right? But what that happens as a result of that is about 60 to 70% of the time, those meetings are not fruitful because they're not thoughtfully done. There's no introduction that truly explains, here's the value of this person. And if this is you, like I know you, I think this might be super helpful to you because this person does exactly this. That's a much better introduction, much more fruitful. And I know that time is a commodity. So, and I know
It
you
is.
are chomping at the
I'm
bit to
chomping
talk
at the
about
bit. I'm
that.
like, let me talk. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. Like, we love this space. Like, we absolutely love being internet marketers. We've been in it for 11 years now, hard at it, helping people build brands. Let me tell you the movement that's happening right now. So many people are collaborating and they're not dialed in on what they do, and they love your idea. And all of a sudden, they go from being one type of marketer to a branding we're adding personal branding as a service to what we do. And that's not what they do. And so it's unbelievable to me. So I'm really, 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 I want to give everybody a big shout of advice right here. Be very slow to collaborate with anybody who does not buy your program, because they don't know your program. And most likely, they will just fleece a couple of statements from your program and then try to make it their own, adding a lot more confusion to the space. So one of the things we teach in personal branding and building a profitable personal brand is what? Focus. Focus on what you do, and then stay in your lane. Because if you start getting scattered, I'm going to, you know what, that dude knows podcasting. I'm going to add podcasting to what I teach too.
The word of the week is,
Then you're like, dude, you don't teach podcasting. You teach personal branding. So, right. And then if you have the podcaster and then all of a sudden he's adding personal branding you don't teach personal branding, you teach podcasting. And what happens in those spaces is your clients and their clients, nobody knows who to hire. They don't know how to find you. And if they do, they're probably going to get some watered down advice of people that started something yesterday, not people that have been doing this for decades. So I really encourage everybody. I want to encourage y'all. Do not succumb to the sound of a person's voice without judging the content of their words. All right, I'm going to repeat that. Do not succumb to the sound of a person's voice without judging the content of their words. All right. Now, if you can trust the content of their words, collaborate with everybody you can collaborate with. If they see the value in your program and they buy your program, they will be able to refer you very strong referrals that also see the value in your program. Okay. And we live by that same advice. It would be very rare for us to acknowledge, say, a podcast professional if we have not worked with that podcast professional, because I don't want to give wrong advice to people that are important to me. And I also don't want to waste that person's time because we have an uneducated referral that now they have to take 30 minutes out of their life to be polite, which is very important. And then educate, I didn't really need that. Well, okay, they're just went 30 minutes. And when y'all add up what you charge for your programs, and if you're charging like $10,000, $15,000 for your program and you're spending an hour a week with people, you probably just saw $700 fly out the window because you talked to somebody that didn't really need your service because somebody else said, we need to connect you, and they didn't really know what you did because they didn't value it to begin with. The good thing about it is we are learning this thing, a lot of people together, and there's a lot of great information out there that is really going to excel your business. But just be careful. Don't succumb to the sound of people's voice without judging the content of their words. And if you make collaborations based on that truth, you're going to see your business explode.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. And it is a big movement right now. Okay. But Michael talking about focusing, right? And that's really what
we've been saying it for
this
11
mastermind
years.
in personal branding. Yeah, that's what this helps you do, is focus your own business so you don't get caught by the word of the week, which in today's word is AI, right? The word of the week is, and that'll last for a long time. All of a sudden we have a ton of AI experts, right? When there's no problem in talking about how AI affects the industry or the space that you're in. But if you all of a sudden become an AI expert overnight because you've searched two things, well, that's totally different, right? So hey, we're throwing out some truths
I
today,
haven't even
hard
Googled
truth,
AI
right?
because I don't care.
So let me say this about masterminds. Okay. So some people thrive in a group setting, absolutely love it. And some people don't. And it's totally okay. That's exactly why we provide both on our end. But it's just like some people learn better from reading versus audio versus video and visuals. So, hey, if you want to learn more about whether a mastermind experience could be right for you, and especially this one, the Profitable Brand Mastermind, just go to BrandFaceMastermind.com. That's BrandFaceMastermind.com. And we hope you gained a little bit of wisdom and insight today, even though we delivered it in pretty tough fashion. Hey, that's what we're here for. We don't pull any punches. We're being honest. All right. Thanks a lot for spending the time with us, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Brought to you by BrandFace, the only comprehensive personal brand building system across the globe.